why this one? I bet that other one is trying to come on. Hold on. It might be on. Okay.
While in executive session, the board took no action.
Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Been motion is second, all in favor? Ayes have it, adjourn. Chair calls the Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District regular board meeting to order. Can we please pause for a moment of silent prayer? Amen. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the agenda to make an item number 7, consideration of executive session, and moving adjournment to number 8.
So moved.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Can I get a motion to approve the amended agenda?
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Good evening. Superintendent's report for February 2nd, 2021. The Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District's faculty and staff are working to ensure the focus remains on academic achievement. School Board Appreciation Week is the week of February 8th through the 12th, 2021. And on behalf of the entire faculty and staff, we would like to say in advance, Happy School Board Appreciation Week to our Board of Trustees. The Mississippi School Board Association invites everyone to join in as we celebrate school board members across the state. Governor Tate Reeves has issued a proclamation declaring February 8th through the 12th of 2021 as School Board Member Recognition Week in Mississippi. You'll have a copy of the Governor's proclamation in your folders. COVID-19 updates. These are the COVID-19 reports for the month of January in the Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District. East Elementary, 1 quarantine, 1 staff member quarantine. Threadgill Primary, 1 staff member quarantine. Greenwood High School, 1 staff member quarantine. Amanda Elsie High School, 1 reported case of COVID and 1 quarantine. Davis Elementary, 1 reported case and 6 quarantine. Bankston Elementary, 1 recorded case. Leflore County Elementary School, 1 quarantine. The GLCSD Central Office staff, 3 cases reported, 5 quarantine. Total positive cases for the district for the month of January, 6. Total number of faculty and staff on quarantine, 16. Student enrollment as of February There are 4,311 students enrolled in the district. There has been a 449 student increase since August of 2020. The district has created an accountability dashboard in an effort to keep the public informed about the district's progress. This dashboard includes but is not limited to the following information, which is aligned to the district's 5 goals: the district's overall accountability rating of C, first semester benchmark data, district demographics, financial data for the district, and a copy of this dashboard will be located on our district's website, Facebook page, and will be published in the local newspaper. The district's average daily attendance for January was 91%, and we are continuing to monitor and track attendance. The superintendent has established a parent, community, stakeholder, teacher, and student advisory committees. Each of these meetings were held on January 29th of 2021. The purpose of these councils are to solicit and share ideas, discuss district and school information, and increase an understanding as to how matters are addressed and the decisions are made at the district and school levels. The superintendent and deputy superintendent met with all high school counselors to discuss preparation and assistance provided to high school seniors. Some of the topics discussed were student support, transcript request and processing, college application assistance, scholarship opportunities, student career choices and planning, ACT and college application fee waivers, contacting parents, assistance with financial aid, the Go Mary scholarship sites, student check-ins, college and career readiness, preparing letters of recommendations, and seniors at risk. Councils are planning an informational session which is designed to provide parents and high school students with information pertinent to their education. This meeting is tentatively set for February 11th, 2021 at 1:00 p.m. and can be viewed on the district's webpage and Facebook page. The next date for ACT testing is February 6, 2021. After that, the next ACT testing date is April 17th of 2021. The registration deadline is March 12th for the April testing date, and seniors who have not used all of their fee waivers are encouraged to contact their high school counselors to obtain one. The district hosted its virtual superintendent social on January 27th and 28th. To date, the district has recognized 144 certified staff, 144 classified staff, 468 parents, and 468 students. The district also recognized its faculty, staff, and administrators of the year on January 28th, 2021, and they are as follows on the screen. Leflore County High School's Teacher of the Year is Miss Nicole Bishop, and the Parent of the Year is Miss Deborah Collins. Greenwood High School's Teacher of the Year is Miss Kimberly Sanford, and Parent of the Year is Miss LaShawn Brooks. Amanda Elsie High School's Teacher of the Year is Ms. Justice Brown, and Parent of the Year is Ms. Joanne Buford. Amanda Elsie Junior High School's Teacher of the Year is Ms. Kimbrika Mitchell. Parent of the Year is Ms. Nikisha Collins. Greenwood Middle School's Teacher of the Year is Mr. Marquise Johnson, and Parent of the Year is Ms. Pamela Keys. Threadgill Elementary School's Teacher of the Year is Ms. Alicia Carver, and Parent of the Year is Ms. Pamela King. Leflore County Elementary School's Teacher of the Year is Mr. Reginald Stanley, and Parent of the Year is Ms. Latoria Little. East Elementary School's Teacher of the Year is Ms. Minnie Perkins, and Parent of the Year is Ms. Trinika Reed. Davis Elementary School's Teacher of the Year is Ms. Stephanie Jones, and Parent of the Year is Ms. Tamika Dean. Bankston Elementary School's Teacher of the Year is Ms. Carol Sally, and Parent of the Year is Ms. Tamika Walls. Threadgill Primary School's Teacher of the Year is Ms. Fantasia Kent, and Parent of the Year is Ms. Shamika Dixon. In Claudine Brown Elementary School's Teacher of the Year is Ms. Betty Hill, and Parent of the Year is Ms. Rochelle Brown. District Employees of the Year voted on by district staff, Mr. Lawrence Shannon and Mrs. Shanteria Flowers, as well as Mr. Shannon Storms and Ms. Cynthia House. School Level Principal of the Year voted by district staff as well, Mr. Raymond Russell, Leflore County High School. Representing the GLC at the state level, the district's Parent of the Year from Threadgill Primary School, Ms. Shamika Dixon. The district level Teacher of the Year from Leflore County High School, Ms. Nicole Bishop. And the district level Principal of the Year from Davis Elementary, Mrs. Courtney Bush. And this concludes the superintendent's report.
Go ahead, Ms. Lewis.
Dr. Brown, can you just share with us just the criteria, how they were chosen?
Okay, with the school level Teachers of the Year, they were chosen by the principals. With the district level staff, we sent out surveys to our central office staff and administrative staff. They not only voted on the school level principal, but the district level staff as well. The criteria, and I have to pull it out for the district's parent, teacher, and principal of the year set by the state. So we read over the applications as well as looked at the data and in our observational data with the principal to choose the principal as well. And I will say that our district level principal of the year was also included in our surveys, chosen by the majority of the office and administrative staff as well.
Thank you.
Chair will entertain a motion to accept the superintendent's report, to receive the superintendent's report.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Next, we have the school at risk report for East Elementary and the additional targeted support and interventions report for Leflore County Elementary. Dr. Pulley.
Good afternoon. For both schools, a more intent focus has been placed on improving student performance in ELA. Students are benefiting from intervention time, which provides additional instruction on high priority standards, which students did not master on the previous assessment. Additionally, the teachers in other subject areas, such as social studies, are also increasing their support of improving literacy in these schools by working to build comprehension and vocabulary skills. Leadership teams at both schools will participate in data meetings on February 16th so that we may monitor academic progress and brainstorm strategies for continuous improvement. Dr. Brown.
Next, we will continue with the regular agenda. Approval of memorandum of understanding. Mrs. Milton.
I don't know what I did with my copy, board members, but let me see. In front of you, that Ms. Flowers gave us a few moments ago in executive session, we have a memorandum of understanding between the Pulley Law Firm and us. And if you've already read over it, it will be okay for the board attorney and I to sign it. She gave it to us in executive session. Have you all had a chance to look at it? Just glance over it, and we can do it at the end. Okay, Dr. Brown?
Next, we have 16th section land, Mr. Mike Ainsworth.
Good to see everybody. We just have two items on our 16th section
North 1 East. It's on 38.7 acres. And you'll see, we'll go ahead and get approval to advertise that same tract of land, which we'll advertise twice in Greenwood Commonwealth and accept bids for the March board meeting. That is required by statute under section 29.3.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve of a termination notice to Leflore County Hunting Club leasehold. It's been motioned and second. All in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Chair will entertain a motion to approve to advertise for hunting and fishing contract.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried.
The next thing I'd like to go over with you real quick is I did a listing of all of your lease contracts that are in the database. So, basically, you kind of notice you'll have the leaseholder's name, the township and range, the acreage, the terms of the contract, the amount of money you're collecting per lease, and the lease classification. So the first two pages, you're gonna recognize those are all recreational contracts. That's in Wayland Campsite, which is 1621-1. And then you flip on over, you only have one residential lease, and then the other leases, which are on your last page, page 4, make up your agricultural leases. You do have some hunting leases, and I apologize, I failed to do the hunting leases. I'll bring them next time. So basically, hold on to this if you don't mind. That way, if something comes up about a particular leaseholder, you've got the same information I have, and I will generate that hunting fishing list. The other thing I wanted to mention to you real quick is this one pager. It's gonna end up basically being titled, you'll see at the heading, LMS leaseholders, the dates of the rent, and the unpaid amount at the bottom. We sent out some notices several months ago. The list was much larger than this. I'm talking, you had 50, at least 50-something leaseholders, and we narrowed it down to this many. So, I think we need to make one final attempt, if it's okay with you. I'd like to be able to make phone calls to these folks, and maybe send them a certified registered letter in mail, give them a very short period of time to make payment. And if it's not made within that time frame, then I would bring back a recommendation to cancel those leases. It's really not near as bad as the number of leases you actually have active, so hopefully we can get those collected for you, okay?
Mr. Ainsworth,
Yes,
what are
ma'am.
the penalties for lease cancellation?
So, the way that would transpire, if the board cancels a lease, then at that point, there's two things the board can do. They can allow the folks to come in and get a reinstatement of the lease, and whatever the new valuation is of that piece of property, which typically is gonna be more expensive than what they were paying, because land does increase in value over time. Or, if there's an improvement on that land and they refuse to reinstate the lease, they need to have 60 days to remove the improvement off the property. If after 60 days, they don't remove the improvement, and there's not a mortgage on the improvement, the school district can claim the improvement and sell the improvement.
Question, Madam President.
Yeah.
Mr. Ainsworth, the leaseholders that are delinquent, are they also included on this list?
They are.
Okay.
They're on that list.
The term you used, did you say improvement?
In other words, if there's a structure, if there's
Thank you.
any type of structure, whatever that may be. The last thing, if you don't have a copy of this, but we talked about section 1619 North 1 East. I know this has come up a few times. This is the section you have all your 99-year leases, okay? I didn't hand count every one of these, but I did kind of notice there was 4 per line, number of pages, so you probably have over 1,000, more or less, 99-year contracts. I think you need to have either a work session or executive session and kind of go in depth about how some other school districts kind of dealt with the 99-year leases, and y'all can direct me on how you want to proceed on that.
Can we put you down for the end of February so that we can all get a copy?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Burke, I will leave this with you, and you'll make sure everybody gets a copy, and then whatever date y'all set, let me know.
Ms. Flowers, do you have a date for our February work session? The 24th, Mr. Ainsworth,
What time is that?
4:30.
Madam President, do we need to, vote to authorize Mr. Ainsworth, the opportunity to follow up with those delinquent leaseholders?
Go ahead.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Ayes have it. Mr. Ainsworth, if you could also pass by our attorney, or Mr. Charles Johnson. As a matter of fact, see Mr. Charles Johnson first. And it's about some 16th section land, and he can tell you further, if you don't mind. All right, thank you, Mr. Ainsworth. Dr. Brown.
Next, we have the approval of the submission of Community Facilities Grant through North Central Planning and Development District. Mr. Johnson.
The Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District is requesting permission to allow North Central Planning Development to apply for a USDA Rural Development Grant for the purchasing of 3 school buses and a vehicle for the Transportation Department. You have attached resolutions following.
The superintendent recommends school board approval of the North Central Planning and Development District grant resolutions for the purchasing of 3 school buses and district vehicle and authorizes the superintendent to sign required grant document.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve of the North Central Planning and Development District grant resolutions for the purchasing of 3 school buses and district vehicle and authorizes the superintendent to sign required grant document.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Dr. Brown.
Approval of the submission of Mississippi Department of Environmental Equality School Bus Replacement Rebate Program grant application. Mr. Johnson.
The Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District is requesting permission to apply for the Mississippi Department of Environmental Equality School Bus Replacement Rebate Program grant application for the purchasing of 3 new school buses. See the attached documents.
The superintendent recommends school board approval of the submission of the Mississippi Department of Environmental Equality School Bus Replacement Rebate Program grant application for the purchasing of 3 new school buses.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the submission of the Mississippi Department of Environmental Equality School Bus Replacement Rebate Program grant application for the purchasing of 3 new school buses.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Approval of the Teen Pregnancy Prevention Program. Ms. Coleman.
Delta Futures is a teen pregnancy prevention program open to all students grades 6 through 12, as well as pregnant and parenting teens in a 7-county area. Delta Futures provides students, including pregnant and parenting teens, with the resources needed to complete a successful education. Their goal is to reduce teen pregnancy, teen births, and sexually transmitted diseases. This partnership will allow the district to notify parents of this service provided by Delta Health Alliance.
The superintendent recommends school board approval of the Memorandum of Understanding with Delta Health Alliance, providing parents the option to participate in a program centered around teen pregnancy prevention.
Madam President,
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to know in this program, in the curriculum of this program, is any type of recommendation about abortions involved?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Chair will entertain a motion. I'm sorry, Dr. Brown. Did you already read?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the MOU with Delta Health Alliance, providing parents the options to participate in a program centered around teen pregnancy prevention.
So moved.
Second. It has been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Approval of early learning collaborative donation, Ms. Coleman.
UHS of Delaware Incorporated is donating $63,000 to the Greenwood Leflore Learning Collaborative. We received a letter. Our chief of the Early Learning Collaborative in pre-K through 2 education received a letter, and it says, "We are pleased to enclose a check in the amount of $63,000, which represents our 2020 contribution to your collaborative located in Mississippi. Our contribution to Greenwood Leflore County Early Learning Collaborative is part of the Early Learning Collaborative Act of 2013 by the Mississippi Department of Education. In accordance with the guidelines of the Early Learning Program, we request you acknowledge our contribution to your collaborative to the Mississippi Department of Education. Additionally, we respectfully request an acknowledgement of our contribution by Alliance Health Center Incorporated under the Mississippi Early Learning Collaborative Act for our records. A scanned email copy of this form is presented to MDE will be appreciated." So we received the money, and all we have to do is acknowledge and state that we received it.
Dr. Brown.
The superintendent recommends that the school board approve the acceptance of a $63,000 check dated December 11, 2020 from UHS of Delaware Incorporated for the Greenwood Leflore Early Learning Collaborative.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the acceptance of a $63,000 check dated December 11, 2020 from UHS of Delaware Incorporated for the Greenwood Leflore Early Learning Collaborative.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Board members, if I can get your attention to 4.7. Dr. Brown, can we either get you to table this or make a recommendation to the board?
A GLCSD participation in 2021 spring athletics. The Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District is requesting a board decision regarding student participation in sports and training for the spring of 2021. We can table it for further discussion.
Or you can make a recommendation to the board. So if you would like to table it, board members, can I get someone to make a motion to table this?
May I ask a question, Madam President?
Yes.
If the board does decide to table this, what impact would this have on potential participation in spring sports?
I want to make sure I'm correct. If I can get the attorney to elaborate a little bit on making recommendations or the board making a decision.
The superintendent makes all the recommendations, and the board approves or disapproves. And as stated in your documents, there is no recommendation. So there can be no action without the superintendent making a recommendation. It would be the board's decision whether to table any discussion.
Board members?
Madam President?
Yes.
My question was, if the board does decide to table this, or what impact would this have on spring sports potentially? I don't know if Dr. Brown or Mr. Johnson can answer that.
Either or.
And I can answer. It would affect whether or not the players would be able to participate based on scheduling having to be done. But and Dr. Brown we recommend spring sports. That's a recommendation we need to make.
The superintendent recommends the student participation in sports and training for the spring of 2021.
Chair will entertain a motion regarding student participation in sports and training for the spring of 2021.
Madam President, so moved, subject to the proper safety protocols being in place as it pertains to COVID-19.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Monthly financial reports, Mrs. Washington.
Good evening, board. The monthly financial report for the month of
Can you
February.
turn your mic on, please?
The monthly report, attached you have the financial reports for the month ending January 2021. The following reports were attached: the cash balance, fund balance, budget status report, the cash flow statements, bank reconciliation reports, and claim docket. Expenditures to date are within budget amounts. Cash balances on hand are sufficient to cover immediate and current projected expenses. The claim docket has been reviewed and approved by the superintendent. Does the board have any questions?
Madam President?
Yes.
Dr. Brown, on page 39, Fund 1160, the ending balance, are we in a position to absorb or cover that?
Fund 1160,
Yes, ma'am.
I think initially when the recommendation was made to move forward with athletics, we knew that we didn't have any funds coming in to absorb that, but Mrs. Washington, can you look at 1160 athletic fund?
Yes. We did, let the board know that there would not be any revenue or.
Can you speak up?
That we allowed the board, we gave information to the board about there will not be revenue coming in, or it would be limited revenue. And right now, there's very little revenue comes in for sports, but there are expenses that we incur for the teams to play, and the board would have to, with permission, to pay those out of the district maintenance fund balance. Question.
Go ahead.
Mr. Johnson, do we have a budget right now for spring sports?
Not a budget, but we do have expenses that we do know we have to order some things as it pertains to baseball and softball, as well as track and field. I would estimate, and this is just me giving a rough estimate, and this is not including the meals and the things for us, the transportation side, but probably about 15,000 in supplies that needs to be ordered. And that's not including coaching supplements as well.
Madam President?
Go ahead.
And that was a good point that Mr. Johnson pointed out. So Superintendent Brown, will at some point supplements come before the board for those spring sports?
Yes.
Okay.
And approximately how much are meals? I know you can't really give me a estimate. I'm asking you for an estimate. Thank you, Dr.
And
Moore.
Ms. Washington may look at it a little more. I know for basketball, they were $7 per student. And so it depends on whether or not it's normally baseball. I'm gonna estimate 15 players, and I could be off on those numbers. So, and then you have 3 high schools.
Right. It was roughly $126 per team. But I like to say, if they don't use the funds, they return those back to the district.
Any other questions? Okay, Dr. Brown.
The superintendent recommends that the school board approve the December financial reports and payment of claims for 947-434 through 947-567 for the Greenwood Leflore Consolidated School District.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the December financial reports and the payment of claims 947-434 through 947-565 for GLCSD.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Motion is carried. Dr. Brown.
Next, you have the consent agenda, which includes minutes of the regular board meeting of Tuesday, January 12, 2021, minutes of the special call board meeting of Friday, January 15, 2021, minutes of the special call board meeting of Wednesday, January 27 of 2021, minutes of the work session of Wednesday, January 27 of 2021.
Ms. Flowers.
Oh, here.
Okay, Dr. Brown.
The superintendent recommends approval of the consent agenda.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Aye. Oh, let the record show that Dr. Bailey said nay. Ayes have it. Motion is carried.
Approval of personnel recommendations. Attached is a list of district personnel which requires board approval. Contracts will be issued as required.
Dr. Brown, under central office, those two people, tell me what's the difference in what was at first than what it is for revised.
The days, I think in the beginning, they had like 90 days on there.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and look at the actual days, but the dates were calculated correctly and brought back before the board.
And can you also tell me what does verify mean?
The verification of the number of years of experience and certification.
I'm saying, like, is it a reason they don't have like numbers?
Not sure about that. I know that their number of years have to be verified, but we'll go back and see what the numbers are for each one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Question, Madam President.
Go ahead.
So under that same central office staff, with those persons coming from within the district, have we started to, or do we plan to replace, fill, I guess you can say, their previous or their prior position?
Yes, sir, we do.
So, Dr. Brown, every teacher or employee's years of experience are verified.
Yes,
Everything is
ma'am.
verified.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Dr. Brown.
The superintendent recommends that the school board approve the personnel for the 2020-2021 school year on the attached pages. Contracts will be issued as required.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the personnel for 2020-2021 school year on the attached pages. Contracts will be issued as required.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Chair will entertain a motion to close this session and to go into consideration of executive session.
Madam President, MOU, you want to do it after?
Okay, go ahead. But, Attorney Puller, we really don't have to, we've already hired you, so we don't really have to make a motion for that. Only thing I wanted you all to do was, in Dr. Moore's words, peruse it and just make sure that everything is the same. Nothing has changed but the year. And then after this meeting tonight, the attorney and I will both sign, okay? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried.